Welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel and today I'm going to be talking about my February TBR. So February is a very exciting month. It is my birthday month. It is the month of romance. It is also Black History Month. So I just feel like this is going to be a really good reading month for me. I have a lot of titles that I'm excited to talk about today. So let's just get into it. Okay, so the first book that I want to read in the month of February is The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. This is a book that I have almost picked up so many times to read, but just never did. I think that the cover is absolutely beautiful, and I think that the story sounds very intriguing. This is sort of advertised as Agatha Christie meets Downton Abbey, which sounds so amazing. So we follow two characters, Evelyn Hardcastle and Aidan Bishop. Evelyn dies 7.5 times, one can assume, and Aidan Bishop is looking for her killer. I think this book is like a very weird murder mystery. Every time I go on Goodreads, I see that people say this is one of the weirdest books that they've ever read, which always intrigues me to want to read a book more. And I think that this is going to be a really interesting one, and I'm hoping that I love it. Okay, the next book that I want to read in the month of February is Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. This is a classic written by a Black author, and I'm really looking forward to this one. I don't know too much about this one, but I do know that we are following a very strong and independent female main character and sort of going through her life and her 3 marriages. So I think this one's gonna be really good. The next book that I wanna read in the month of February is Yoke by Mary H.K. Choi. This is a very highly anticipated book for me. I have been meaning to pick this one up for so long, but I'm finally going to do it in February. If you don't know what this book is about, it follows 2 sisters. One of them is sort of down on her luck and struggling through life. The other has a very nice job, nice apartment, seems like her life is perfect. One of the sisters does get cancer. It sort of forces the sisters to come together. I think this book is going to pull a lot of emotions from me. I also have a sister, so I feel like that's going to hit home really hard, but I think this is going to be a beautiful story and I'm really excited. Okay, the next book that I want to read in the month of February is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong, another book I've been meaning to read forever. This was in my physical TBR 22 books I want to read in 2022 video. I will have that link down below if you would like to watch it. But yeah, I mean, if you haven't heard of this book, Romeo and Juliet retelling 1920 Shanghai sounds beautiful, and I know that the second and final book in this duology just came out, so I'm really hoping that I love this and then I can quickly get on to the second book as well. Okay, the next book that I want to read in the month of February is Ace of Spades. I am so excited to get to this one. This is a YA thriller and it has been presented as Gossip Girl meets Get Out, which is amazing. I think I'm going to love this and I'm so ready for all of the dark academia vibes that this book is going to bring. Okay, the next book on my list is a book that I have been scared to read just because I have like the highest hopes for it, and I just need to do it. I just need to rip the band-aid off because I have been avoiding reading this book for fear of disappointment, and that is Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I want to read this in February because it is my birthday month and I really just want to read books that I've wanted to read for a very long time. That's pretty much what this entire TBR for February is going to be. I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to do this. I'm nervous. I think I'm gonna cry. And I don't know how to feel. I'm really excited, but I'm also super nervous. I absolutely loved Circe by Madeline Miller, and I feel like everyone says that this book is like objectively better than Circe. I do expect this to be a 5-star, but I'm very nervous that it's gonna disappoint me. Yeah, I'm going in. I just need to do it. I just need to read this book already. Okay, the next book that I want to read in the month of February is Wondersmith, The Calling of Morrigan Crow. I did read Nevermore, which is the first book in the Morrigan Crow series. This is a middle grade fantasy series and it is incredible. If you haven't watched my January wrap up, that should already be up by the time this video is posted. I talk a little bit more about Nevermore in that video, but I'm so excited to read this. I absolutely loved the first one. I'm really excited to see what happens. I think that the first book was a great setup book and I'm really hoping that we get more world building. But since I loved the first book so much, I immediately went out and bought the second and third book in the series, and I wanted to read it right away, but I'm trying to space it out just so I can savor it a little bit more. If you are interested in reading middle grade, even just a little bit, I recommend picking this series up so much. I really think this book is going to be even better than the first one because now that we've sort of laid the groundwork with Nevermore, I hope that we can get more into the world, see more action, and I'm just so excited to read this one. Okay, staying on the middle grade train, I am finally going to start the Percy Jackson series. I never read this as a kid. I don't know too much what it's about. I know that it deals with Greek mythology, and I'm just excited. I think that this is going to be so much fun. I hope that I enjoy it just as much as I do the Nevermore series. I feel like everyone loves the series, so I'm sure I will, but yeah, it's finally time for me to start the Percy Jackson series, and I can't wait. Okay, the next book that I want to read in the month of February is Miss Sally Rooney, Beautiful World, Where Are You? I love Sally Rooney so much. I've had this book for a while, but I've just been holding off because I just want to savor Sally Rooney's books because I only have 3, but I think it's time. It's my birthday month. I'm gonna pick this up. I don't know too much of what this is about, but Sally Rooney books are kind of hard to describe. I just know we have a group of friends living in Dublin, having sex, you know, dealing with friendships, commenting on society, classic Sally Rooney vibes. So I'm really excited to get to this one. I have heard that this is pretty different though from Normal People in Conversations with Friends. I hope that I like it just as much as those other 2, but regardless, I really like Sally Rooney's writing style, so I'm very excited to read this one. Okay, so it would not be a February TBR without throwing in some romances. So the first romance that I want to read in the month of February is From Luke Off with Love by Mariana Zapata. So excited to read this one. I feel like this is her best book. I feel like most people give this book 5 stars. I've seen differing opinions on Colty and The Wall of Winnipeg and Me and All Roads Lead Here, but I feel like pretty much everyone loves this book, so I do have very high expectations. If you don't know, this is kind of an enemies to lovers slow burn romance where we have 2 main characters, Jasmine and Ivan, and Jasmine is a figure skater, and I believe that Ivan becomes her figure skating partner, and they fall in love. I think it's gonna be so good. I'm really excited for this. Okay, so the next book that I want to read in the month of February is the OG Enemies to Lovers. That is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I've never read a Jane Austen novel, so I'm really looking forward to diving into her work. I want to start with Pride and Prejudice as it is arguably the most popular book of hers, and I love the Keira Knightley movie so much. So I'm really excited for this one, and I really hope that I like it, and I really hope that I give it 5 stars. Okay, and the next book that I want to read in the month of February is Persuasion, also by Jane Austen. I'll be honest, I literally do not know what this book is about. I just saw that Dakota Johnson is starring in an adaptation of this movie coming out this year, and so I said, yep, need to read that. It's also, I think, Jane Austen's shortest novel, so I kind of just wanted to squeeze it in. Hopefully I can fit this in after I read Pride and Prejudice. Okay, the next book that I want to read in the month of February is 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. I don't own this book, so I'm either going to listen to the audiobook or get it on Libby, but this is a romance. This is a childhood friends to lovers, second chance romance with a dual timeline. I also think we have dual POV. It sounds amazing. I'm really excited. I think it's gonna be pretty emotional too, and I'm looking forward to that. Love a good cry from a book. But yeah, I'm really excited for this one. And the last book that I do plan to get to in the month of February, I don't own because it is not out yet, and that is House of Sky and Breath, the second Crescent City novel by Sarah J. Maas. I cannot wait to read this book. Like, it's all I think about. We're only like 2 or 3 weeks away at this point, and I'm so excited. I'm not gonna go into the plot of this just because if you haven't read the first one, that might spoil it, but I'm so excited. Bryson Hunt better be endgame. That's all I gotta say about that. I do think I'm going to vlog my experience of like going to Barnes & Noble and picking this up and reading it and telling you guys all of my thoughts, spoiler free of course. So if that is something that you would be into, let me know. But yeah, I can't wait to read this book. This is like my most anticipated book of 2022. I am so ready. Okay, so those are all of the books that I am planning to read in the month of February. Let me know down in the comments, what are you planning to read this month? Which of my picks here should I start with in the month of February if you have read them? If you did enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the next one.